I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Monday, April 6th, with news from Arkansas today, a day without the legislature in session. We had a quiet, cool Easter in Little Rock, only one homicide and 2 people wounded by gunshots in an altercation over drugs and gang-related violence. I guess we should be thankful for the small rounds of gunfire. The big news, I think, in Little Rock today is the Little Rock School District is getting seriously into the business of cutting the budget now that it's under state control and faces a need to get ready for the loss of state desegregation funding. The school district released to me today a list of 64 administrative jobs that Dexter Suggs, the interim superintendent, proposes to cut to save some $3.5 million. He also proposes to reduce the work schedules of 12 principals to save still more money. Some of these are very well-known, high-ranking Little Rock School District administrators. He talked, too, to a citizens committee about other steps that are under consideration, some particularly controversial, I'm sure, with the workforce. He said that one way to save a significant amount of more money would be for teachers to pay more toward their health insurance. That means, in other words, a pay cut for them. They were also talking about some savings that could be realized by having teachers have less class preparation time and more time in the classroom. That means it would require fewer teachers to teach the same number of students. Again, that's a big question. Elsewhere in the state, yesterday there was a Celebrate Jesus parade in Eureka Springs, which is a famously inclusive community welcoming to LGBT people. The First United Methodist Church was disinvited from participating in that parade because it wanted to carry a banner that says Jesus loves everyone. Now that doesn't sound very controversial, does it? The problem is the First Methodist Church in Eureka Springs is what's called a reconciling congregation. It welcomes LGBT people, gay people in other words. The group that sponsors this Jesus parade, they welcome everybody, but maybe not gay people so much. The Methodists weren't welcome in their parade yesterday. We're still cleaning up from the legislative session. The Humane Society of the United States has called for Governor Hutchinson to veto a bill that provides an exception to the 2013 law that prohibited private possession of primates. The Humane Society says this will open up roadside zoos again, a bad practice. The governor so far says he has 150 bills left to consider. He's not talking much about what he's going to do about any of them. In fact, he pretty well brought an end to a press conference today at which he wanted to tout the workforce education bills he passed when the subjects began to turn to some of those other more controversial things like when will we begin executing people again under the new death penalty law and that sort of thing. Lots of unanswered questions still lie ahead of us. I'd like to say that the Arkansas Times announced today the engagement of a well-known journalist from New York who's going to help us in our Beyond Rehoming project. That is our extensive look at the child welfare system in Arkansas. I urge you to take a look at our blog and find a link to that page. We're crowdfunding this. We're off to a good start on fundraising. We think there's a lot more to be written about the state's child welfare system, and if you'll stay in touch with us, you'll see what we have to say about it. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.